Welcome to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. I'm booking WWF in the Invasion era. It's the last Raw before King of the Ring. Before I continue, there are some things I want to bring up, some occurrences. Brock Lesnar handed his notice. He's leaving WWE in 3.5 weeks. He didn't even give me a chance to make him an offer to stay. Hardcore Holly wanted to leave, but I rejected his request to leave. Um, I gave him a $53,000 bonus because his overall in the United States is 53, and and his attitude improved from angry to annoyed. The Big Show was suspended for being obnoxious and beating up Steve Blackman. Big Show was very happy about the suspension, and Steve Blackman was happy with the decision. So Big Show's suspension will begin on Tuesday of Week 4. Brock Lesnar was fined for causing damage to Jim Cornette's rental car. Cornette was happy while Lesnar grew simmering tension with Vince McMahon, who I'm controlling. But like I said, Brock's on his way out anyway. Deborah was suspended for getting into argument with a fan outside the arena. The suspension had a negative impact on Deborah and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, on Deborah and Stone Cold was unhappy, but he's still happy overall. I'm going to do this at the beginning of every Raw. When I do the Power 25, just go over who's in it real quickly. First is Triple H, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, China. Black means they're with the WWF. Gold means they're champion, either WWF champion or WCW champion. Red means they're WCW. Then Kurt Angle, Lita, Buff Bagwell, Bubba Ray Dudley, Jerry Lynn, Mike Sanders, D'Lo Brown, and Yang. The reason they're in this color is because they're Sunday Night Heat. They're not ready for main roster yet. Chris Jericho, The Big Show, Kane, Chris Benoit, Canyon, Matt Hardy, Devon Dudley, Palumbo and O'Hare, Nelson Knight, aka Viscera, Gregory Helms, Lash LaRue, and Johnny Stamboli. So, let's run the show and let's see how things go. In an abysmal pre-show match, Steve Bradley defeated Jimmy Cicero by pinfall. Sky 16, Cicero was off his game. In an abysmal pre-show match, Rob Conway defeated Sterling James Keenan, aka the modern-day Corey Graves, by pinfall with an iron fist. Sky 14, Conway was off his game, and he and Keenan just didn't click in their performances, and it showed. So now it's time for the actual show. In a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Big Show defeated Test by pinfall with a choke slam. They didn't click. That's probably why I got only a 55. Al Snow and Sean Stasiak are backstage. They start argument breaks out. They start brawling. They have to be pulled apart. This guy 20. This didn't help their rivalry. It actually hurt it. People didn't think it was interesting, so this is probably gonna have to be a heat rivalry. And yeah, so unfortunately, this didn't do anything well. In a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, Booker T defeated X-Pac by pinfall with the Harlem Hangover. This got a 69. This match got the crowd interested again. So Booker T is celebrating. All of a sudden, Kane comes out, makes his return after a lengthy absence, and he starts beating up Booker T for all those weeks Booker T was calling him out. This got 56. William Regal attacks China backstage, leaving her down and out. This got a 43. In a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling, Canyon defeated Chris Jericho by submission in a Hardcore Rules match. During the match, we also had Buff Bagwell run in and attack Jericho. Canyon successfully defends the Hardcore title, and this got a 67. So Kurt Angle is backstage. I expected this to do better, but Kurt Angle is about ready to come out. He goes, "Boys and girls, your Olympic hero Kurt Angle is 6 days away from making history. In 6 days, at the King of the Ring, Your Olympic hero will be the first wrestler in WWF history to become a two-time back-to-back winner of the King of the Ring. Look at my opponent in the semifinals, Triple H. Triple H, I've always been better than you, which is why you have been so insecure whenever you and me cross paths. After I prove I'm superior over Triple H again, then I either defeat Buff Bagwell or Jerry Lynn to become the 2001 King of the Ring. I really hope Buff Bagwell makes it to the finals, so I could snap your ankle and take out a top WCW wrestler. Speaking of snapping ankles, Triple H, I know you are busy with your new best friend Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I know of the history between you and my opponent for tonight, Billy Gunn. Somebody may make sure Triple H is watching, so I can demonstrate what Triple H has coming to him at King of the Ring to Triple H's old friend, Billy Gunn. So this got 57. I thought this would have done better, but oh well. In a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, Kurt Angle defeated Billy Gunn by pinfall with an angle slam. They have good chemistry, and it got a 75. A video plays hyping the Blackman and Trish versus Val Venus and Ivory match at King of the Ring. This got a 40. Chris Jericho's pacing back and forth in the locker room, pissed off. He goes, Buff, you want to get involved in my business? We don't have to sell our problems in the ring at a pay-per-view. I know you got the tournament at King of the Ring, but I want my match against you on SmackDown. Trust me, Buff, if you turn down my challenge to meet me this week on SmackDown, you won't have to worry about making it to the King of the Ring tournament this weekend. Buff, meet me in the ring at one-on-one, or I will be at the King of the Ring to make sure you don't make it to your match against Jerry Lynn. Make the right choice and accept my challenge. And this got a 57. In a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, The Undertaker and Kane defeated Rikishi and Haku when The Undertaker pinned Haku with a choke slam. Haku was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone's performance. This guy is 64. I was originally going to put Rikishi and Dean Malenko together just because Dean Malenko was the next ranked wrestler in terms of popularity under Rikishi, but I didn't want. It sounded like a good idea to make a makeshift team, but I figure Rikishi and Haku are already a team. Well, they're not actually a team; they're an old team. But anyway, I figured instead of going with the makeshift team, at least have this instead. But I should have known Haku would have been the weak link. A video plays hyping Edge and Christian against DDP and Shane O'Mac. This got a 60. In a bout that had fantastic heat and great wrestling, the two-man power trip defeated the Dudley Boys when Triple H pinned Devon Dudley with an ace crusher. The two-man power trip makes defense number 2 of the tag team titles. In terms of in-ring work, Steve Austin was head and shoulders above everyone else. The Dudleys showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Triple H and Stephanie have great chemistry. That's not over yet. Stone Cold and Triple H are celebrating their victory in the ring. That's when The Undertaker runs in and goes after Stone Cold Steve Austin because it's Undertaker against Stone Cold at King of the Ring for the championship. This guy is 69. So, what was the final grade for Raw? It's probably going to lose popularity. A 70. Okay. Hey, a 70 is not bad for an A show. So I'm happy with that. Just the thing is, WWF starts off with such high popularity. You gotta get like shows in the 80s or 90s if you want to grow popularity. It's just like you don't have that kind of roster. Maybe you could do it once or twice, but anyway. So drug test fees. Rhino is back, and so is Arn Anderson. Let's see. Raw's War Report. Um, the feedback from viewers has been great. It has drawn a lot of praise. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like the first 5 or 6 matches are going to be the top 5 or 6 guys or teams with popularity, and then they'll just go through the rest of the roster as um, just go through the rest of the roster basically. That's for Raw and SmackDown anyway. Sunday Night Heat, it's obviously a chance to build up the unimportant guys. But yeah, so this was so anyway, this was my episode of Raw, the Go Home Raw to King of the Ring. The next video will obviously be the taping of Sunday Night Heat. But until then, good night, everyone.